So I was pondering what should be my reflection today on this first Bring Your Dog to Church Day. And I finally came to terms with the fact that there is one question that I'm sure you all want me to address. Do all dogs go to heaven? I was forced to face this question because when I picked up the poster that's in front of the church for this day, when I picked it up from Staples, and the folks at Staples know me because I often am picking up church posters there, one of the young men behind the counter said, "So, do all dogs go to heaven?" And then he told me, he shared with me that he had once asked that question of his priest, and his priest had said no. Although how the priest knew, I am not sure. I'm not in the habit of speculating about the nature of heaven. And indeed, the very scriptures of my faith tradition teach that such knowledge is unavailable to us. So not wanting to claim certainty where none is to be had, I will respond to that young man's question today, not with dogma, but with a parable of sorts, an imaginative piece of fiction. Not my imagination, mind you, but the imagination of the writer Earl Hamner. Now, Earl Hamner, if you're recognizing that name, it's probably because he is best known as the creator of the 1970s television drama, The Waltons. But he's also the author of a short story called The Hound of Heaven, which is in turn a reference to a poem. But he's the author of this short story, which rather surprisingly for Earl Hamner, became the basis for an episode of The Twilight Zone. This story concerns a mountain man, a hillbilly by the name of Hyder. One day, Hyder goes out hunting, accompanied by his faithful coon hound, Rip. In pursuit of a raccoon, Rip tumbles into deep water, and afraid for his dog, Hyder plunges in after him. Both man and dog are drowned. In the next scene, Hyder and Rip awaken on the shores of the stream and head home, only to discover that they are now invisible to their friends and their family and their neighbors, who are in fact preparing for Hyder's funeral. So Rip and his human set off together down the road of eternity. And after walking for a long way, Hyder says to Rip that it's farther than he's ever been before. They come upon a gate on the side of the road. And the gatekeeper greets Hyder in a friendly manner and tells him that this is the gate to paradise. And he invites him inside. But he tells him he will have to leave Rip outside, because this heaven is for humans only. Hyder replies, "Any place that's too highfalutin for Rip is too fancy for me." And so he turns his back on the gate, and he and his hound continue down the road. Before long, they meet another traveler. He greets them by name and tells them he has been sent to guide them to heaven. Hyder says, "Oh, no, we passed that gate already, but me and Rip aren't going in there." And the angel tells him, "No, you didn't. That was the gate to hell." That's how you know it's a Twilight Zone. Now, this story of heaven and hell, like all stories of heaven and hell, is a story of imagination. But like many stories of imagination, I wonder if it might not also be true in some way. There are many parables after all, that teach us that any place too highfalutin for the least of us wouldn't be heaven at all. And that steadfast love is the path that leads us there.